Hi everyone, welcome to the show. I'm Moran, and I help entrepreneurs become millionaires. And today, I'm gonna make you one of them. I know that sounds pious, hypey, and kind of arrogant, but I'm gonna do it. After you see this, it's gonna be so dead simple and obvious that you can be a millionaire, that you'll have absolutely no excuse. I promise. You'll have no excuse.
Excuse me, bro. You're excused. And I'm not your bro.
But you probably won't do it. And you probably won't do it because it's boring, because it's too simple. Ask me how I know. I spent millions of dollars learning that you need to keep it simple. What does that mean? It means I've lost millions of dollars following complicated strategies, when if I had just narrowed it down to the simplest way possible, my net worth would be way higher than it is today. I've thankfully learned this lesson and have almost made that money back. And in this video, I'm gonna show you how to keep it so simple that any idiot can become a millionaire. Let's run some numbers. Okay, so what you see on your screen here is an investment calculator. I love playing with the investment calculator because it allows me to just run some numbers to see how big could my net worth get. Given enough time, given enough patience, given the right strategy, how big could my net worth get? If I let myself play this game for decades, which I plan to, then, compounding interest is a very, very cool thing. So I just found this by searching investment calculator on the old Google. And what we're gonna do here is we're gonna set our target for $1 million. All right, so this is $1 million, and we're gonna start with zero. We're gonna assume you got nothing. You're starting from scratch. You've got no cash to your name. All right, and we're gonna put the return right here of 9.4%. Now, why did we choose that number? Because 9.4% is the average return on the S&P 500 index for the last 50 years. The last 50 years have produced 9.4% returns on average. Sometimes more, sometimes less, sometimes negative, but over time, the average has been 9.4%. Now, it's not gonna be 9.4% linearly forever, but it's gonna do that on average. So we're gonna set that as 9.4%. If you don't trust those numbers, you can lower this if you want, or you can Google what the average S&P 500 return has been over the last 50 years, and you'll probably find that it's 9.4%. And what we're gonna do here is we're just gonna ask the question, what would we have to contribute? What would we have to contribute on a monthly basis in order, at the end of a certain period of time, for it to become $1 million? Now, I told you at the beginning of this that you probably would not do it because it was too boring, it would take too long, you would get distracted, just like losing weight is the same way. But the truth is, you're gonna be on this planet for another 20 to 30 years at least, right? If you're watching this and you're 70, you're probably still gonna be around here for another 20 years. If you're watching this and you're 30, you're probably gonna be on this planet for at least another 60 years because the average lifespan is going up because modern medicine is extending our lifetimes. 100 is gonna be common by the time you and I are there. So I'm 35. I've got at least 50 to 60 years. At least. I think I've got longer than that, but I'm gonna be around for 50 years. So I'm asking the question, how much can I leave my kids? I've got 2 of them. How much could I leave my kids? Like, how big could I make my net worth? Now, I used to ask the question like, how could I make as much money as possible by the time I'm 45? And I mean, that's a fun question to ask, but the truth is you'll make the most money if you're planning for when you're 90, because you'll do the consistent things that Warren Buffett says lead to wealth. All right, so let's look at this. Let's say we've got a target of $1 million and we got a 9.4% return. How long would we become a millionaire if we were to invest, what do you want to say? Let's say $1,500 a month. Let's put this in. $1,500 at the beginning of every month. Let's calculate that. It says here that you will need to invest for 19.83 years to reach your target of $1 million. 20 years. You can be a millionaire in 20 years by investing $1,500 into the S&P 500. Not by picking stocks, not by trading options, not by starting a business, just investing $1,500 a month into the S&P every month, like clockwork, like any idiot can do. Now you might be saying, oh, but Ryan, $1,500 a month is a lot for some people. Well, that's true. That is a lot for some people. So let's reduce this. Let's just extend the time frame then. Let's say we could do $1,000 a month. All right. Well, then we're going to be a millionaire by the time within 23.767 years. It's going to happen anyway. By the time your kids leave, you can be a millionaire if you invest $1,000 a month into the S&P 500. But Ryan, $1,000 a month is still a lot for people. Okay, then let's lower it. Just what can we contribute every month? $500. And for $500 a month, you'll be a millionaire in less than 31 years. But I don't want to wait 30 years. No one wants to wait 30 years to be a millionaire. Of course they don't. So the question simply becomes, how can we make this number as big as possible? How can we make the monthly contribution into the S&P 500 or wherever you're investing? How can we make that number as big as possible? Now, I will tell you that if you're entrepreneurial minded at all, then we can make this number go up a lot. All right, and we're going to do that next. We're going to talk about that next. But anyone in the world can make $500 a month extra that they put into the S&P 500. My goodness, that is driving for Uber for like 5 hours a week, 4 hours a week. And that's your $1 million plan. The beauty of this is that when you see that there's just a plan, like if I just put $500 away for 30 years, I don't want to wait 30 years. So hopefully that number is going to go up as I get raises and make more money and get more opportunity. I want to make that number as big as possible. But today I'm going to start just by putting $500 a month into the S&P 500. Why? Because I know that if that's all I did, then I'm going to be one of the richest 1% in the world. Take me 30 years, which I don't want it to take 30 years, but at least I've got a plan, and most people don't, because most people retire with nothing. But if I just put $500 a month away, I'll be a millionaire eventually. I'll eventually get to retire. Might be 75 by the time I retire, but I'll have $1 million in the bank. That's $90,000 to $100,000 a year based on these numbers. That's enough for me to live a modest lifestyle in retirement, depending on what happens with inflation. But you'll have Social Security by then too. It'll be a nice little nest egg having $1 million. Now let's change the question. Let's say, okay, how big can we make this number? Because I don't want to wait 30 years to be a millionaire. I want to be there in a few years. Okay, well then all we need to do is change the number of the annual contribution and make it as big as possible. So let's say that we are entrepreneurial minded and we said, all right, I want to get to the goal of adding $5,000 a month, $5,000 a month into this portfolio, which if you even try to be an entrepreneur, you should be able to make $5,000 a month extra. Like that is like the side project of side projects. That is ad revenue from a podcast. That is a decent YouTube channel. That is selling a couple of products. So let's just run this. Well, if you were to take $5,000 a month and invest in the S&P 500, guess what? You're a millionaire in 10 years. Not so bad. But Ryan, you wrote a book called 12 Months to 1 Million. Yes, if you go all in on a business, you can have $1 million business. $1 million business in a year. Now, what are the profit margins on that, Ryan? Well, that's a really good question, because if you built $1 million business that sold 4 products at 25 sales a day at a $30 price point and you made no money, you had a 0% profit margin, and all you did was promote affiliate products to the email list of customers that was built from that, making no money on $1 million in revenue, but you had a customer base and you promoted affiliate products to that email list, you would have to really suck to not make 10 grand a month. Like you would have to really suck getting 100 customers a day. That's 3,000 customers a day, 3,000 a month, 3,000 customers a month, 3,000. If you could get 3,000 buyers on an email list every month, you'd have to really suck to not make an extra 120K promoting stuff to that email list. So let's say You followed my work. You built $1 million business. You made no money. Oh, Ryan's a scam artist. I knew it. Profit margins were 0. But what I did do is I built an email list of buyers. And so now I'm making $10,000 a month extra in my part-time. And I'm going to invest that into the S&P 500 at a 9.4% interest rate. Oh my goodness, I'm a millionaire in 6 years. And then you know what I'm going to do? Let's do this. Well, actually, what that means is I could flip my business. I could sell my business for a few $100,000 because I got this great email list. And then I'm going to keep investing and make that nest egg even bigger. Now, here's where it gets really exciting. So let's flip this over to, oh, I'm revealing my hand here. Let's flip this over to, all right, you're starting with, let's just say you're starting with $10,000. And we're going to put in an additional $10,000 a month at a 9.4%. What is that over, let's say, 25 years? So you start a little side business, you got something going, you just park it away every year. I'm not going to buy Lambos. I'm not going to put it into Bitcoin. I'm not going to flip NFTs. I'm just going to have a nice little side thing where I make $10K a month because I'm selling products on Amazon and I'm building an email list. And as a result of building that email list, I'm marketing more things. How did I get to that customer base? I got good reviews and I posted about it on social media and I read Ryan's book and I figured out how to take it to 1 million. And for 25 years, I'm just going to park that away. Well, guess what? That becomes $11.4 million. My goodness, these numbers are hard for me to believe. I freaking love this because this means that you just got to chip away. Chip away every day. Just chip away. You don't got to be great. You got to have a business that spits off 10K a month. You have more money than almost anyone. What if this was 30 years? What does this become? It becomes $18.6 million. And check this out. This little graph right here. Your total contributions are only 19% of that. The rest is the growth. Almost 81% of it is just the growth. It's amazing. So much fun. What if you're young like me, you're 35? You're gonna be on this planet for at least another 50 years. If I could put 10K a month away, I'm gonna be a centimillionaire. I'll be worth $120 million if I just bank away 10K a month. Huh. That sounds pretty fun. This makes me want to say, could I leave my kids $1 billion? Because all I got to do is wait. It's going to take time. And this doesn't factor in like you had an exit or you had a great month. You're just chipping away, chipping away, chipping away. With a side thing, having your life paid for through working full time or a primary business, take some of the profits, put them away. It's just chipping away. Now, again, this is what got me excited about it, was seeing how much could be produced over a long period of time. But once again, if all you ever did was put away $1,000 a month, you're worth over $12 million given enough time. And if you don't want to wait 50 years, in half the time, it's still over $1 million, putting away $1,000 a month. And if you can't come up with $1,000 a month, you live in America. There's 1,000 ways to make $1,000 a month. You can flip stuff on eBay. You can do what Gary Vee says, and you can take stuff from the Facebook marketplace and sell it on eBay, or get it from the free postings on Craigslist, sell them on the Facebook marketplace. All kinds of ways to do that. And when you know that it's leading to $1 million, you have the energy to do it. You know it's going somewhere. You know it's leading somewhere. How fun is this? I sold a company for $15 million. I didn't invest it well. I didn't do this. Should have. Wish I did. So the next time I have a 10 or a 20 or a $30 million exit, could I park that away and leave my kids with $1 billion and put $1 million away? Might buy me the Cleveland Guardians. Might buy me a baseball team. Doing nothing fancy. Just following the simple plan. You You can become a millionaire, my friends. It's basic math. It's inevitable. You have no excuse not to park away $500 to $1,000 a month for a very long time. And if you don't have it, you have no excuse to not set it as a goal to go make more money so you can park it away for a really long time. And you're a millionaire. You have more money than most people will ever have. Basic math. It's inevitable. And then you start a business to make that number go up as big as possible. And you become one of the richest people in history. That's the opportunity we have. I said we'd do it. If you want some help, you want to get started, find some free resources in the description of this video to get on the road to 1 million, start a business, find out how fast you can make this number go up, see some case studies of people who have done it. You'll find my book in there as well if you want to grab it. And I hope you'll subscribe to the channel and let me mentor you on your road to 1 million. I'm Ryan Daniel Moran with Capitalism.com. Thanks for watching.